Hi guys. I'm in Glasgow Buchanan bus station. I've just spent what was a brilliant couple of days in the Highlands with this chap who lives just outside of Glasgow. And he invited me up, and at first I was a bit reluctant, and then I relented. I travelled all the way up, and you know, it appeared at the time that he wanted to share this amazing place with me, which was absolutely fabulous, and I was willing to experience it. So I travelled up, and he drove around the Highlands, and we camped a couple of times. And then towards the end of the trip, he asked if I would share some footage and some images, and I was quite happy to do so. And we got back to his place, but the images, the footage wouldn't copy and paste. He said he'd be willing to find a way of rectifying the solution, but it was quite strange, because I became aware of a certain keenness to obtain the images, and I stopped for a moment and thought, I'll tell you what I said. I said, I'll take them back home and I'll just go through them and sort them out there, and I'll send you some images. Nothing more was said. And bizarrely, later on, it transpired that he was very angry that I had made the decision to take the footage back home. In all fairness, it was my footage. And I really wanted to get back home and take my time and go back over the images in my own home and really feel the trip and the quality of the images, and to sort them out. I didn't want to rush, and I most definitely didn't want anybody kind of grabbing for something that they perceived to be some kind of payment for the time invested and the energy, because it was almost as though it was like compensation. He was annoyed, I mean bizarrely so, bizarrely annoyed, and it rapidly got very, very distasteful. And I decided to get my gear together and go. I couldn't stay. It really was that unpleasant. You know, I was vibrating. It really was shit. So I packed my gear, and I got on the train into Glasgow Central, and I'm here now at the bus station. Well, what I'm trying to do is possibly find a place to doss, and if I can't do that, then I'll go down to the Euro hostel. I've been down there already, I've checked it out, and I know where it is. So, but rather than spend 22 quid for a bed or 70 quid for a room, I'll doss, you know. I've done it before. So I'm in kind of survival mode on account of this bizarre disagreement I had with this chap. Couldn't stay. You know, he really did imply that I was being possessive. You know, it was my footage. You're YouTubers, you know the score. It's your footage, you know. And I was polite about it, for God's sake. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I'm going to find my way. All right, how you doing?
Just killed a bear, mate.
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna get moving. There's some street guys there. They're making their way somewhere. So I want to find somewhere quiet, tuck in somewhere, and find somewhere quiet. That was a bizarre turn of events. You know, I'd much rather not fall out with people, but it is my footage, and you know, I do understand that people aren't, you know, faultless. I'm not faultless, but it became clear that there were conditions on my journey. There was a price to pay, and I just couldn't go with that. Not at my age. you know. I mean, no disrespect. I thanked them. I was courteous and polite. I just took charge of the footage that was rightfully mine. That's all it was. I just took charge of it, and it really, really annoyed him. So I'm here now, and got a bus in the morning, 8 o'clock. Just got a night, just to find somewhere to get my head down and make my way back home. You see, things don't always work out, do they? Not with people, not with trips. That's life. That's part of the adventure. You take the risk, don't you? Relationships don't work. Issues arise, don't they? People's stuff gets in the way. So yeah, I don't mean any harm. Other than that, it was a fabulous trip. It really was a brilliant trip. Alright, I'm going to crack on. Wishing you guys all the best. Peace. Love. Love.
They like totally picked up.
So I'd been to check out the hostels and decided, I had time to kill. I wasn't going to get my head down straight away. So I walked around the city. I was well impressed. I loved Glasgow straight away. I'd lived in Liverpool before, and this was just another large city to explore. I had to keep my head about me because, Glasgow has got somewhat of a reputation for being violent, but there are good people and there are bad people everywhere, and what you don't want to do is underestimate a city, but neither do you want to portray the idea of being threatened. So you've got to strike that balance really whilst muching about the streets. I did eventually find a place to doss down, but I only had to doss down because I went back to the hostel that I'd originally checked out. It was just too expensive. And then I went across the road, and this guy just slipped in front of the door just before me, and I got into the reception, and he had literally booked the last bed, and he was right in front of me. And I thought, now isn't that Sods law? I thought to myself, now I'm going to have to doss down. So that's what I did. I turned back around, stepped out the door, and looked for a place to doss down, and I found one straight away. More or less across the other side of the street. I assessed the situation and I was quite happy with it. And this is what you find. Me dossing down in what is essentially a big shopping centre, to the rear of a big shopping centre. I was quite happy with the choice.
Well, here's my bed for the night. Best place I can find, really, in the city centre, tucked away. It's nice and quiet. So I'll be up in the morning, catch my bus. Alright, catch you up. Well, I'm not sure if there's enough light, but it's a real live bivvy on the streets of Glasgow. I've had some memorable nights in the past, and this is another one. It's dry here. Not many people walking by. There's a chap just walked by now, but he's the first in 45 minutes, and we're late into the night now, so yeah, got my snug pack out. Quite warm. I've got a roll mat down. I can feel the chill of the floor just ever so slightly, but I should be alright here for tonight, and catch the bus in the morning. Alright guys, I'm going to pack up now. Okay, see you in the morning.
So it was a fairly decent night's sleep, as sleeping on cold concrete floors go. There was no bother, I didn't come into contact with anyone. So I was very happy when I woke up in the morning. A successful urban stealth camp, I'd say. I got my kit together and I made my way back up to the Buchanan Street bus station, where I caught my 8 o'clock bus back to Hereford, which turned out to be a thoroughly enjoyable trip. Well, if you enjoyed that, guys, give us a thumbs up. It always helps the video, and I appreciate it, I really do. If you want to comment, you know me, I always get back to you. And if you want to subscribe for future videos, don't forget to hit the button below. I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, that's it for now. Until next time, take good care.